When Rihanna first arrived on the music scene in 2005, no one anticipated for her to become one of the most successful pop stars of all time. After all, her debut single Pon de Replay, let alone her first few albums, didn't particularly leave anyone mind-blown. Yet, the steadfast model of Rihanna's early career ultimately proved that she wasn't one to be overlooked. Just over a decade, the superstar amassed enough number ones on the Billboard Hot 100 to surpass Whitney Houston, Madonna, and Michael Jackson. Rihanna also became the fastest singer to sell 200 million records, where she shared this feat with legends including Mariah Carey and Beyoncé. Nevertheless, this triumphant streak came to a halt after the release of Anti in 2016. Initially, fans expected Rihanna to announce a new LP before the turn of the decade. In her 2018 cover interview for Vogue, the pop star confirmed that her future project would be reggae-inspired. When years passed with no sign of an upcoming single, the internet's concern became incessant, as thousands of comments on Instagram and Twitter read, "Where's the album, sis?" The ongoing response by users ranged between casual humor to sincere anger and frustration. With the announcement of Rihanna's billionaire status in 2021, fans took it as a bittersweet hint that a future LP would be even more unlikely. If that wasn't enough for people to give up on the pipe dream, then Rihanna publicizing her pregnancy definitely put the nail in the coffin. As much as audiences are imploring for a current album from the singer, it's about time we accept that Rihanna's entirely deserving to put her music career on the back burner. In this video, we'll explore the reasons why Rihanna is likely shying away from entertainment. We'll highlight the ephemerality of pop stardom and how balancing business, motherhood, and music is nearly impossible. Overall, it'll be unquestionably clear why expecting a new Rihanna album is a lost and selfish cause. Although Rihanna wasn't the first teen pop star, the experience of being one is still a newfound and abnormal phenomenon. The most monumental events of a typical 16-year-old could be receiving their driver's license or getting a first job. Rihanna, on the other hand, signed a 6-album deal with Def Jam Records when rapper and business mogul Jay-Z was president and CEO. While artists such as Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, and Justin Bieber have also become international superstars during their teenhood, Rihanna's trajectory in the music industry is exceptional. In the first 8 years of the singer's run, fans received a new project annually. Even despite the domestic abuse incident perpetrated by Chris Brown in 2009, the singer released her 4th LP, Rated R, in the same calendar year. This immediate turnover between albums was pretty much unheard of and helped Rihanna become one of the most prolific names in pop music recently. When S&M reached the summit in 2011, Rihanna set the record as the fastest solo artist to score 10 number 1 hits. Currently, she has the 4th most chart toppers on the Billboard Hot 100, as work increased her tally to 14. The 3 acts with more wins are Elvis Presley with 18, Mariah Carey with 19, and the Beatles with 20. Many people also argue that Rihanna's the figure most likely to break the all-time record, as most contemporary pop stars have yet to garner as many hits as her. Which begs the question, why would the singer remain inactive for so long? Perhaps it's because of the grueling nature of the music industry. For instance, one of the inevitable aspects of an entertainer includes touring. Actually, a good share of a singer's total revenue from music is dependent on performances. Since 2006, Rihanna has headlined 7 tours, 5 of which were intercontinental. Any artist can agree that concerts involve an immense amount of physical and mental exhaustion. The combination of traveling, sound checks, dance rehearsals, and live performances takes a toll on even those who are most ambitious. Additionally, releasing an album entails everything from vocal coaching, recording music, photo shoots, producing videos, and promotion. All of this doesn't even begin to address the overwhelming beauty standards that are expected from female pop stars. Some people may recall the public body shaming Rihanna has endured for years now. Countless individuals have shared comments online that at best come off as patronizing and at worst are downright nasty. She's even addressed it in an Instagram post in 2017, though with an admirable sense of levity. Consequently, it's perfectly reasonable to understand why Rihanna might not be thrilled about releasing new music, considering all of its implications. Maybe the singer is enjoying the perks of normal life. It may be that she's embracing things us non-famous folks take for granted every day, like her family, friendships, or most importantly, her privacy. It's possible that all those concentrated years of entertainment has led to a burnout that warrants a longer break than most pop stars require. Basically, if Rihanna's approach to making albums was as frequent as her peers, she would still have much fewer than she does now. Both historically and contemporarily, most pop stars have less than 8 hit albums under their belt. This is true for legendary musicians such as Michael and Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Celine Dion. Today's sensations including Ariana Grande, The Weeknd, Beyoncé, Taylor Swift, and Justin Bieber have yet to reach an 8th studio album like Rihanna has. Therefore, audiences should do away with the urgent timeline imposed on the icon. For the time being, just let Rihanna live. Living a life of leisure and normalcy may be appealing enough for some musicians to take an extended break. However, it's not entirely true for Rihanna. At the end of the day, the singer is founder and CEO of multiple businesses. Fenty Beauty, the cosmetics line, and Savage X Fenty, the lingerie brand, have surely occupied most, if not all of the time Rihanna otherwise would have dedicated to music. The reality is, running a business is extremely difficult, and while most people would declare that Rihanna's corporate ventures are flourishing thanks to her newfound billionaire status, the hardest part of running a company is maintaining its success, not merely achieving it. Balancing the demands of the beauty and fashion industry takes a staggering amount of time. So much time that Rihanna had to end her luxury clothing line in 2021. As reported by Forbes, the company was closed due to unforeseeable challenges, namely a lack of traction, overambitious projections, distrust among affluent buyers, the coronavirus pandemic, and simply bad reviews. This failure led Rihanna to focus more closely on her lingerie wear. Thankfully, Savage X Fenty's success has in large part overshadowed the misfortune of Rihanna's luxury endeavor. In 2021, the company reached a $1 billion valuation. Luckily for Rihanna, the recent downsizing of lingerie giant Victoria's Secret has created an opportunity for her brand to capitalize in the market. Savage X Fenty did just that as it opened its first brick-and-mortar store in Las Vegas in January 2022, followed by locations in Los Angeles, Houston, Philadelphia, and Washington. Still, this achievement presents a double-edged sword of sorts, as translating online sales to physical ones isn't necessarily a cakewalk. If a monster corporation like Victoria's Secret, with revenue 4 times as much as Fenty, can be forced to close 25% of its stores, who's to say Rihanna's brand is safe? These obstacles also apply to her hugely prosperous Fenty Beauty. It's well known that the pop star has dominated the cosmetics industry over the past several years, specifically as it pertains to celebrity-owned companies. Be that as it may, the outcomes of fashion and beauty corporations by entertainers is especially fickle. Every year, the public is inundated with new products from their favorite stars. Whether it's Selena Gomez and her natural inclined rare beauty, or Lady Gaga's cruelty-free Haas Laboratories, it's easy to lose track of all the new offerings. This means staying on top of trends, attitudes, and marketing strategies is crucial to a business's progress. Of course, Fenty Beauty not only faces competition from her entertainer contemporaries, but corporate giants as well. Household names such as L'Oreal, with revenue of $12 billion, Estée Lauder, with $14 billion, MAC Cosmetics, and Revlon, with $2 billion, all have figures that topple that of Rihanna's $500 million. Certainly, it's unreasonable to expect Fenty to hold a candle to such cemented brands. No one is saying that the singer's business should be the most successful cosmetics company in the world. Rather, it should be assumed Rihanna has her hands full trying to keep up with the relentless corporate world. In other words, music is the least of the artist's current worries. Thus, audiences should be just as concerned about a new album as Rihanna is. The last thing fans could have expected from Rihanna in 2022 was a pregnancy announcement. As self-centered as it sounds, the public had a polarizing response. Although many people expressed congratulations, others shared their regret. A baby on the way meant any glimmer of hope for new music was immediately diminished, and for good reason. Ultimately, having a baby demands an undivided amount of attention. Firstly, the complete change in lifestyle begins right at pregnancy. Everything from diet, physical exertion, and clothing choices are compromised. Though, in Rihanna's case, she made it a point to serve as a fashion icon during her 9-month childbearing, something that was trailblazing. Sadly, celebrities are held to an unrealistic standard when it comes to their resiliency after childbirth. We live in a culture where women are celebrated for how quickly they can transition back to their pre-pregnant bodies and normal life. Meanwhile, this period of time is the most fundamental and formative years for a child. Developmental milestones for babies such as playing, learning, speaking, crawling, and walking all happen within the initial year of parenthood. According to the Center for Disease Control, positive parenting tips include constant praise and communication, reading, singing, and cuddling one's baby. The CDC also emphasizes parents to take care of their physical, mental, and emotional health to provide a healthy connection to their child. Therefore, expecting Rihanna to ration her energy between motherhood, business, and music is irrational. In fact, renowned physician and author Dr. Gabor Mate has educated at length about the importance of conscious parenting. Based on Mate's extensive research and expertise, he believes the more stressed parents are, the more developmental problems you will find in kids. The types of issues Dr. Gabor Mate claims can manifest from this pressure include ADHD, feelings of abandonment, emotional trauma, as well as addiction. Now, this doesn't mean a child is guaranteed to experience the aforementioned results based on stressful events in a parent's life. Instead, there's a higher likelihood of negative outcomes for kids if they're raised by overburdened parents. It's already traumatic enough that women endure a radical change in their bodies throughout and after pregnancy. The last thing on Rihanna's mind right now is taking on a world tour. Furthermore, Harvard Medicine claims that postpartum depression affects nearly 18% of women worldwide. Obviously, the public will never know if Rihanna herself has suffered from PPD, but we should never assume that she hasn't. All in all, the early years of motherhood should be filled with profuse joy, gratification, and healing. It's a transformative experience for Rihanna, and one that shouldn't be tainted by the arduous nature of the music industry. Fortunately, Rihanna fans can be somewhat relieved as the singer is confirmed to perform during the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show. This announcement has led many people to speculate whether they should expect new music from the pop star. After all, there really isn't any kind of promotion that is better than the Super Bowl. Even so, it doesn't change the fact that Rihanna will still be preoccupied with her business ventures, or that her child will be less than a year old. For those reasons, it might be premature to get our hopes up about an upcoming album from the singer. Regardless, Rihanna is a young woman. She has plenty of time to pick up where she left off. Ultimately, no one would have guessed that an artist as fruitful would put her audience through such a drought. That Rihanna would pretty much pull a Frank Ocean. But sometimes life is just more important than art, and art is never as potent when it's devoid of life. Perhaps the singer is taking her own words of advice when she sang, "Just live your life." Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. What are your thoughts about Rihanna's hiatus from music? Do you agree or disagree with the sentiments provided? Lastly, when should audiences anticipate a new project from the pop star? And what type of sound would you like her to experiment with?